This is America's Most Wanted, and I'm John Walsh. Tonight, we'll ask for your help with one of the Justice Department's top priority cases, and we'll re-examine a case with $1 million reward. But first, a story of love and passion in the hills of West Virginia. Friends remember Rusty Garrett as a funny guy who liked to drink beer and tell a good story, his side of the story. Friends who tried to argue with him remember his quick temper. He was the kind of guy you didn't want to cross, and Garrett's violent streak drove more than one woman away. So Garrett spent his days drinking hard and working hard, breaking horses, until he met a woman who thought she could break him.
We got coming in the Tennessee Walking Bear.
Spring 1988, Spencer, West Virginia, a town known for good hunting and good horses. The auctions were one place you might find an enthusiastic Linda Carpenter and her husband Ronnie.
Ronnie, look at that shoulder slope to the withers. Oh, she's so well balanced. 15 two hands. That is a classic Tennessee walker.
It's still too rich for my blood.
Well, there must be some parrot-mouthed, cowhock, pin-fired nag somewhere in Roane County that's right for the price.
Linda was active. She liked to work, liked to ride horses. She loved horses. And sometimes when we go to a horse sale or something, Rusty would show up.
Ho, 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 right there, ho. Hey, honest stranger.
Rusty Garrett, I thought that had to be you.
Ronnie Carpenter. What the hell's a Chevy mechanic doing out here looking at horse flesh?
Actually, it's my wife here that loves the horses. Linda, you remember Rusty Garrett?
Jeez, Ronnie, every time I see Linda, I wonder why I didn't stay closer to you, buddy.
Rusty's a horse trainer.
You're kind of rough, aren't you?
Well, I suppose if you ask the horses, they don't like me none. But if you take a horse and sink it down in a mud hole until the fight's out of him, he'll remember who the boss is.
I'll bet they remember.
Actually, to know me is to love me.
Rusty was loud. Always had a tale of some kind to tell, either about hunting or horses or back in his younger days.
Over the next several months, Ronnie and Linda Carpenter saw a lot of Rusty Garrett.
We have to get old time out there.
So what happened?
Anyway, Moose and I were out there one night spotlighting deer. That buck up there on the hog's back.
Let me take the ridge line, see if I can get off a clear shot. You and Linda hold down the holler.
You won't have to get close enough to hit him on the head to get him with that thing.
Tom, let me try this muzzle loader. Seems a little more sporting to me. Besides, it was good enough for the pioneers.
Old Daniel Boone never get close enough to get a shot off without spooking him.
Oh, and you could.
Well, hell, Linda, once I get something in my gun sights, don't get away. He ain't much with a gun, is he?
Whoa!
This buck's for you, baby.
Linda and Garrett shared a love of horses and the hunt, and according to neighbors in Spencer,
Wow.
they began to share much more.
What a surprise.
Doing good. Doing good. You look mighty fine on that horse, Linda. I mean, you look real fine on that horse.
Rusty Garrett was supposed to have been a friend of mine. Or at least I thought he was for a long time.
But Rusty Garrett was less than a friend to Ronnie, and much more than a friend to Ronnie's wife.
Oh, I just knew you were waiting for a big bad man like me, babe.
I never knew that Linda and Rusty was having an affair for sure, but just my suspicions.
Oh, Ronnie will be wondering.
Hey, we ain't through yet.
Rusty, stop it! That hurts! Now, let's go. I gotta go. I was late last time.
Oh, you telling me what to do now, huh?
Hon, don't be that way.
Go on! Go on, get out of here! Now!
I don't have any idea what Linda seen in Rusty. Rusty didn't seem to be her type of person. Seen Rusty and Linda together one time in Spencer. I was test driving the car for the garage, and Rusty and Linda was in her truck coming the other way. I felt that something was going on, something was wrong.
Linda, was there something you wanted to tell me?
What do you mean?
I saw you and Rusty Garrett riding around town today.
Oh, that, I just ran into Rusty outside
Linda,
ride.
I'm asking you to level with me. I'm not blind.
What do you want me to say?
If you tell me there's nothing between you and Garrett, that's good enough for me.
There's nothing.
For better or worse, darling. For better or worse.
That's when Linda decided to bring her affair with Rusty to an end. But witnesses say Garrett voiced a different idea.
If I can't have her on Earth, then I'll have her in hell! Where you going? Going down the road to Otto.
I picked Rusty up. He had a rifle, and he also had a handgun in his coat pocket. I took him to Otto Road, to a small church where he said he wanted out, and that's where I let him out.
That night, deputies say Rusty Garrett camped out at the edge of the woods near the Carpenter home. May 15th, 1990. After making sure Ronnie Carpenter had left for work, deputies say Rusty Garrett waited several hours for Linda to come out.
On the day of Linda's disappearance, the neighbors heard a gunshot, a loud gunshot at approximately 11 a.m. But due to the fact that this was turkey season, and that's common in the area, we didn't give it much thought at the time.
When I come home the second night, her truck was gone, and the little dog we had named Sparky, he was gone, and didn't have no idea that anything serious was wrong.
3 months later, 2 ginseng hunters made a grisly discovery deep in the woods.
Oh, my God.
The next day after the body was found, they found a ring out there, and they called me in to see if I could identify it.
Hello, Ronnie. Sergeant, this is the ring we found at the scene.
It was Linda's wedding ring.
Police say Garrett fled in Linda's pickup truck. When he abandoned it, he told friends he was going to hide out in Canada. He must have thought the heat was off, because in July 1990, Rusty Garrett was arrested in Ashtabula, Ohio for cockfighting. He was booked under his real name and released that night. That was before police had found Linda's body. Wherever Garrett is now, he's probably around horses or cattle. He could be working as a farmhand or an amateur veterinarian. Friends say he was rough on animals and bragged that he could break any horse. Well, one horse broke him. Garrett has a bad leg now. He also has severe arthritis and walks with a waddle, like a duck. Garrett's a big eater, and as you saw in our reenactment, he rarely goes anywhere without a can of beer. Police think by now he may have ballooned up to 270 pounds or more. Don't let Russell Edward Garrett slip through the manhunt tonight. Call 1-800-CRIME-92. Later on in the hour, we'll unmask the zombie bandit. You'll be surprised at his real identity. But coming up first, a farm girl leaves the fields behind to follow fame and fortune in the big city. But her fantasy turns to a nightmare.